Zombie games have sort of died off in the last few years. We went from the golden age of Left 4 Dead, The Walking Dead, Dying Light, Dead Island, State of Decay, and quite a few other solid titles to practically nothing of note in the past couple years. Or, while some franchises like Dying Light and Dead Island still offer a decent zombie experience, I think they've wandered too far into the category of crazy arcade action. Those titles feel less personal and more fantasy at this point. They're more over the top and humorous instead of gritty and cinematic. But No More Room in Hell 2 looks to change that and bring us back to the roots of the genre. For reference, I've never played the original No More Room in Hell. It just never hit my radar, but I'm extremely hyped for the upcoming sequel, and I wanted to explain a few reasons why that is. Now, immediately, you can see from the gameplay that I'm flashing on your screen that No More is going for methodical gameplay that is slower, darker, and more claustrophobic. They're utilizing light as an actual resource that serves multiple gameplay mechanics, such as clarity of combat or even your ability to see and loot items. While some areas are far more open than others and have more space to maneuver around, the darkness that surrounds you adds to the tension and fear, and they actually make you feel like the open space isn't so open. The developers have said they want players to be present and grounded in the world, and these videos show that off quite well. Personally, I like the feeling of vulnerability and having my senses heightened by possible danger lurking around any corner. I'm a big fan of the fact that the game is designed so that it's not standard for everyone to survive. Difficult games are my favorite, and I hope No More Room 2 is very difficult. If I survive 90% of the games I join, the whole survival aspect becomes inconsequential. The fact that each player starts alone and you will organically meet up with others and try to survive is fun, it's different, it's intriguing. Some players will never make it to the meetup point. Maybe they got greedy and tried to loot an extra room upstairs or stopped a bandage at the wrong time. Or maybe they just got lost and couldn't find the other players. Or maybe all of the other players are already dead and they're all alone on the map and they don't even know it. I like this spooky sense of risk and reward. Let the environment tell the story, let the players discover it, and let us be a part of the narrative. Speaking of environments, I'm a massive fan of map design and item density. I want the world around me to look lived in. I want it to be logical from a functionality standpoint. I want to imagine what happened in any given location. Some games like Dying Light 2 do this really well, with tons of interesting places and unique assets that bring the world to life. No More Room in Hell 2 uses the Unreal 5 engine, and while some of the early videos we've seen look promising, I'm hoping it gets taken to another level during its time in development. Lastly, before we go, I want to touch on combat. Combat has got to be clean. You can wrap me up in this dark, dreary, realistic, spooky, scary, shitty world, but if fighting my way out of it isn't very fun, you failed. Gameplay and combat is obviously key, and I trust that these devs can pull it off. This is the same studio that made Chivalry 2, and that game's a blast to play purely because of the combat. This game will be a work in progress, I get that, but I expect steady updates to fine-tune the movement and the combat. Overall, can't wait for this game. I've been itching for zombie stuff, I've been itching for survival stuff, and co-op games are always wild, and with Halloween around the corner, the timing of this couldn't be better. October 22nd is just a few days away. I'll be streaming live on Twitch at Sylvis66, and I hope to see some of you out there fighting for your life with me. Thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.